Sorry, I got a little bit of a soda pop stuck in the back of my throat. Went down the wrong tube. Hey guys, Dante here, and welcome back to my channel, The Burger Sort. And yep, welcome back to another Sunday night stream. And we're doing something we haven't done in a while. We are doing some traditional hands-on artwork. And as the title indicates, today's topic is monsters and pins. So, little fun backstory. Way back when, man, I think it was 2002, the Spider-Man movie came out. That was the first Spider-Man movie, right? Yeah, I think it was the first Spider-Man movie when it came out. Good old... Was that? Let me see. Which pin is this? Give me a second. I'm just double checking what these pins actually say. Correction. No. So yeah, that was the first Spider-Man movie. It was 2002, but these are not from that. So these are from 2012 actually. So the story behind these stupid pins. Outside my school, they were advertising this big event. It was this whole thing about Monday, June 25th to Sunday, July 1st. This whole thing about Spider-Man Week in New York City. So this is a Spider-Man Week 2012. And when the week ended, these guys started packing up their table, and they were just chucking these into the garbage. Like the guys were just, and not even the recycle board, mind you. This is all metal. Recycle these damn things. But no, they took a whole bunch of them, started chucking them into the garbage. They're like, yo, you guys just getting rid of those. I'm like, oh yeah, the week is over. Who cares? So I was like, let me get them. So they gave me this big old bag. Or rather, I took home this big old bag of about maybe 35 or 40 of these. I told myself one day, this pack rat nature of mine will pay off, and I shall use these for something interesting. And they went to the back of my closet along with a bunch of other art supplies and sat there for many a year. And then I was like, they just sat there. And every so often I would think, I want to do something with these. I want to do something. I want to paint on them. Oh, but the paint comes off. Whatever. I just couldn't really think of a really good project for these, right? And then today I was like, screw it, we're going to use these. So I found them buried among the miscellaneous art material. And today what we're going to do, we're going to make these into three-dimensional monster pins. I'm basically making products for the convention I'm doing next month, which is Brooklyn Horror Con. I figure, why not just make a few random like monster kind of pins? Like these really gory looking, weird looking, monstrous artistic looking pins. And yeah, so these guys have sat since 2012. Let me see, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Almost a decade in the back of my freaking closet. So with that preamble, is that the right word? Preamble out the way. Let's get into this right here. So I just kind of pre-prepped a few things. I stuck some googly eyes on this one. I took a piece of styrofoam ball, cut it in half, and put it on this guy off-centered. No, this guy's centered. This one, here's a half of this, a little less than a half, or 25% of it. This guy's off-centered. And I've also put these little foam jutting pieces on the side of this guy and on the front of this guy as like building pieces, to thicken it up as I sculpt around it. Once again, we'll be using freeform sculpt. This brown stuff here is once again Crayola sculpt. This stuff is freaking amazing. In that, like, I opened this bag like over a year ago, and as long as it's pinched, this stuff stays soft. Like, it keeps soft. It doesn't dry, which is crazy. Pros and cons of the Crayola. Pros and cons of using Crayola foam as an inner base, as a filler for any epoxy sculpt. Um, One, it dries relatively fast. It's like 24 hours is pretty good to go. But if you leave it in, it is actually still soft. You kind of like give into it a little bit, put your nail. But if you leave it even longer, it becomes like solid, like rock, like this. Like if I was just to sculpt around this, like within the next 4 days, it would be solid rock. And you got sand this, cut into it, like really break it apart. It's easy to break, so it makes good for internal pieces. The cons to that though is that this is air dry, so it will shrink. So eventually these might shrink and pop off, which is why we're not gonna address these right now. We're gonna hit these instead for the meantime. But who knows? Maybe by the end of the stream, I'll start adding stuff around this. This guy's gonna be a demon, so these are gonna be big curling horns that are sticking straight up. This guy's gonna be like a cyclops. This guy's gonna be one guy with one big bulbous eye and one squinted eye. Maybe I'll put some staples in it, like to give a scar. Yes, why don't we start with this guy then? And then all these little pieces here, I did a bunch of little U shapes. I just kind of pushed it on top of a pen, let it sit there. Squiggly line with a pointed tip, and this kind of C, almost like a beak. I'm thinking I'll use these as once again as internal pieces sculpted around them. It's gonna be a snake of some type digging in and out of like a guy's face. Then I just did this big flat piece which I'll hang off the side, glue it, sculpt around it, and either make this a wagging tongue or kind of like the scream mask where the mouth just kind of hangs down. Once again, it's just filler to hold it up. But yeah, we got plenty of these. So I'm just gonna go ahead. Hey Red, good to see you, good to see you. I'm just gonna go ahead and start sculpting and see if we can come up with some cool like monster designs. Let me just adjust my light to my side, it's blinding me. There we go. Oh, since we got Red in the chat, I invited Red and a few buddies to head out with me today. It was a last minute thing, so roughly they couldn't make it. But it was myself and Mama Burgos just trekking into the city, into Dumbo, New York, which I lived in New York my entire life and I didn't know what Dumbo stood for. It's basically me. I guess it's me Dumbo. Is it something under Manhattan Bridge? No. It basically, Dumbo is the area beneath the Manhattan Bridge. That's what it pretty much is. It's like that area right by the base of Manhattan Bridge. Which is also just a close shot to Brooklyn Bridge, because they get really close to each other. Anyway, thank you. Down under. I couldn't get it right. Down under Manhattan Bridge overpass. Thank you, Red. See, that's why Red is awesome. So yes, we went there, and it was like a little flea market, nothing too crazy, but it had nice stuff. Lots of cool fabric stuff. People selling kimonos, dresses, and some guys selling like a mixture of like old figurines, new figurines, old toys. But the main thing is I walked away from that with like 4 vinyl records. A few jazz musicians, the famous blind jazz musicians. You know who they are. Along with 45 from the movie, not the show, from the movie Dragnet. I have a 45 from the movie Dragnet. Just silly records I just thought were kind of interesting. It's a beautiful area too. And yes, I took a photograph at that one famous spot where everyone takes a photograph, where it's like 2 brick buildings, cobblestone, and you can see the bridge in the background. It's pretty much the park that's right there. I took a photograph like at that one spot where every girl takes a photograph for their freaking like Tumblr or Instagram or whatever account they have. Right? So right now I'm just, as usual, uh, rather than just mix big chunks of clay, I do it in small portions. So I'm just making little bolitas of each A and B part. Yeah, so yeah, it was my first time, like, being at that park right there, being by the underpass, being in Dumbo. I mean, I'm sure I've been in Dumbo before. Just that particular spot was the first time, and it's crazy, man. It's like living in New York. Actually, you live in New York your entire time, and there's so many little touristy things you don't do. Okay, like I say, so like I said, we're gonna start with this guy. Yes, I realized, a lot of my Dungeons and Dragons stuff, they're all monstery. Especially the Demon in a Bottle I did, which isn't Dungeons and Dragons, but it is monster related. But I figured I should do something extra for HorrorCon. So why not make a bunch of random like buttons? It's like original art, so I could sell these at a bit of a higher price. And I have some artwork I also plan to print. It's basically old artwork. It's some of the better pieces from my Inktober. I have like 3 of them I want to print, and I've turned them into like dossiers. Since the last Inktober was sci-fi, science fiction, horror lab oriented, I figured there'd be like these little notations of like events that have happened in the lab, and they're gonna be on like tinted paper that looks like vanilla envelope kind of paper, of just like incident number 47, Dr. So-and-so lost his arm. Advice from now on, keep track of all your fingers, things like that. Silly stuff. So I'm going to print out, I've got 3 of those I want to print and now slice them up. And they'll be like 3.5 by, maybe 2.5 by 7. Kind of like large scale bookmarks or whatever. Oh, speaking of artwork, I can't show it to you because Twitch has rules on it. But someone was selling, like, not the original pieces, but like from the original magazines of Vargas. Those, like, I've heard the name and I've seen the artwork. I've seen the pinups, but I never knew it was like all the same guy. Vargas was a gentleman who did lots of like beautiful women pinups, curvaceous. And each one had like a little joke on it. There was one where she was like dressed. She had a hat like she was going camping. And the dialogue says something along the lines of, oh, sorry, but the park sign said no camping, no fires, no kite flying, no etc, etc, etc. But it didn't say no skinny dipping. And it's just her wearing just a hat. And these are all just like watercolor 1970s maybe. I gotta double check when Vargas was active because you don't really well, how many magazines actually have old pinups. So I ended up actually buying one of Vargas's work. It's of beautiful woman, blue eyes, black hair, that short hair that you only see like in the types of pinups, kind of like the hair of that comic character Blondie, but black. And she was wearing just this long translucent wedding veil, and I had to have it. I just don't know where to put it because it's kind of odd just having naked women in your house that aren't actually your naked women. Now, once again, this stuff is actually very sticky, which is why you have to use so much water to like, move it around. But the more water you use, this is a freaking piece of metal. It's gonna slide around through the metal, which is why I glued all these things beforehand, because I realized I need something to anchor these onto. So we're trying to sculpt one eye. It's going to be exaggerated, like a face that's squeezed. Ideally, it's going to be a face that is squeezed into a circle to fit this kind of what we're working with here. It's going to be one eye and then one eye that's squinted. Probably going to go through a lot of the clay, but then again, this clay freaking bang for his buck, and I'm still like 50% through it at the most. Speaking of which, I still need to our girl here, Spider, still needs to be finished up. I'm really happy with the way she came out. I'm just not happy that the arms are in a permanent spread. And these arms are the correct length. They just look shorter because of the way they're spread out. But yeah, she needs to be bulked up as well. She needs a bit more clay around the neck and everything. And then, painted, primed, etc., etc. She has a while to go. So I'm using, what was the name of this again? Top 500 no copyright sounds. From NCS. That's on YouTube. It's like an 11-hour playlist, and I think at like hour 8, there is one song that got flagged on Twitch, but not on YouTube. So luckily we're playing this from the very beginning, so I think we'll be okay with the beginning. I'm sure many of you have seen people with these sculpting tools are like rubbery. They're like, every time I see them in the store, they're like super expensive. But yeah, I just have these metal ones I've been using. Once again, shout out to Clitorius Rex, I think it was Clitorius Rex, my good friend, who gave me these a while back. Check him out on Instagram, people. Clitorius Rex. What is that? What is that? A little bit of plastic. And well, that's the bridge of the nose. Let's sculpt really squinty the other eye first, and then I'll actually like build up the nose itself. In a perfect world, I'll sculpt these real quick, and then paint and prime them real quick, Not today. The painting and priming will come later. But and if I could really push it, I could get you know like a handful of these at least done. Maybe these guys at least 1, 2. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe 5 of them, 5 or 6 done before we get too close to the end of the month. Yeah, I'm always, that sound you hear is me blowing on it because, like, this gets too wet, so it sticks to my dry fingers instead of, like, sticking to itself. Okay, let's give him a bit of an eyebrow ridge. Once again, gotta wet my hands because I can't, it doesn't want to release from my hands. Just give me a little bit of crow's feet on the other eye. So I'm thinking, do a few strips, like wrinkly eyebrow here. Let's make this more of like actual eyebrow. Sorry, wrinkly here, on the brow, but the actual eyebrow right here, we'll just right now sculpt some of that in. There we go. Then we're going to do a big cut down the side of it, give him a scar. Not sure how I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the mouth. Hey, where are you going? Just gonna roll out 2 thin strips. Might be less than that. Just doing a little pinch around the edges, curved around the back. Let's find these out. It's little round, almost like a spoon. I love this piece. I could wet it, get a little ball on this, and then put it right there. Yep, and I'm doing an indent. So, freaking bug! I saw you. I'm doing a little indent, so we're giving the little, almost like the butt chin that sits right between the eyebrows when you're really angry. Main camera? I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Let's get the other eyebrow. Oop. Gotta be careful, I don't want to lose the softness of the eyelid. There we go. So all the practice I'm getting when I do like thin hair or fur, it comes in handy for like little eyebrows and stuff. Then you have smooth curves, more like waves. When you do this like really large like waves on like a larger like piece of sculpture, so you could do like really fine detail, almost what I'm doing right here, singular strands, or you could go ahead and or you could go ahead and just do the waves for like long curly hair that some some female figurines have. Oh, so speaking of like sculpting, so a while back they showed images of Goliath from Gargoyles, right? And I kept telling I kept telling Katorius Rex, I don't know, there's something about the face sculpt. The face sculpt looked really gaunt, like sunken in. His eyes was sunken in. The body was amazing, the wings, the body. But the face, like they just couldn't really capture the face. It just looked creepy as opposed to like heroic and muscular. I guess it's the difference between like Ron Perlman's Hellboy and the new Hellboy. Ron Perlman had like the really flat chiseled appearance, while the newer Hellboy just looked kind of ghoulish. That's what it was. And I kept saying, I don't know, man. I want to get this Gargoyle figurine. I want to buy this Goliath figurine, but man, that face just isn't doing it for me. And lo and behold, a bunch of people were buying the figurine, and they were like, "If you're gonna buy the figurine, buy it in person," because because of the way that it's sculpted. The moment the paint goes off a little bit, he looks cross-eyed. And in tons of figurines of that Goliath, tons of releases of that Goliath figurine, apparently his eyes are like really goofy looking. The face just doesn't look good, and I knew it. I knew the face looked weird. And I was like, something about it just it's messing with me, man. I just don't like it. Yeah, I still want to hold out on adding. He's gonna have a bulbous nose. I want to hold out on that until I get like the face. I mean the mouth done. The eyes are pretty much what I want right now. I'll do the scar after everything's been sculpted. I need to just use a designated spoon to scoop this stuff out. I love this stuff, but it's in a plastic bag, so it sticks to the bag rather than just it being poured into the container. I ain't gonna do it. There. That's a nice chunk. The big eye on this guy is kind of giving me Brendel-Fly kind of vibes. If you guys ever seen 1980s The Fly, Jeff Goldblum, you know, science, that Jeff Goldblum. By the end, when he becomes the full monstrous hybrid fly, they refer to it as the Brendel-Fly. Because there's different stages of the Brindle fly. But at the end, he kind of looks like this. It's this giant. It's the eyes to skull ratio is like a fly, but the eyes are obviously more humanoid. They're not speckled. They're not like multi-eye. Yeah, if you want to see a movie that's like amazing practical effects, and as you know, as long as you're okay with body horror, check out The Fly with Jeff Goldblum. The amazing I don't really care anymore Jeff Goldblum. There was some movie that came out I think recently where he was like a voice actor in it, and it's just he just didn't care. There was someone uploaded a audio, like someone uploaded a clip from some movie where like everything's going wrong, his evil plan is failing, and he's literally getting like attacked by from all angles. And he's going oh no, like it's so like phoned in. Like you don't hire him to emote, you hire him to just be Jeff Goldblum. Don't hire him to emote, not anymore. Once again, I'm just, as you can see, just making my, matching, you know, your balls gotta be the same size. So, once again, it's in a bag, but the white portion of it, the white to the gray, the white is so much more. Like if I was to leave these right here, the gray would keep its shape. The white would actually begin to settle. It's like the most liquid of non-liquid materials. It just really settles, but it settles in the bag and sticks to all corners. Making fire. Whatever happened to that channel on YouTube? Primitive Technology. Like, I don't mind waiting a few months for him to update something. I mean, he's building freaking houses out of mud. But I miss him. He was really cool. You know, I'm just, there's tons of other channels like that too that like build crazy stuff from scratch. But I liked his channel. I don't know. Primitive Technology. Squeeze and squeeze. Gotta knead that dough. If you need the dough, you have to knead the dough. Get it? It is a good amount. This might do it. Kind of thinking of doing like a, if it's screwed up eye, should I do like a really messed up mouth as well? Like almost Two-Face with the teeth kind of showing on one side. I don't know. Or should I do like the Ninja Turtle mouth? Let's get some teeth in there. So my finger's wet, and I'm blowing the top half to get that dry. I can then just go, bloop, and there you go. Let's really flatten this out. use this guy. Just some basic little, almost skeleton teeth. Gonna take away from the camera for a second. Alright, so speaking of, just jumping from one topic to the other, because that's what I do. Speaking of skeletal teeth, I came across this guy on YouTube, and he dresses as Skeletor. And he can't, it's a little cringy, but in a funny way. He's like, Skeletor here, and of course, no surprise, he's a huge Masters of the Universe fan, and he was doing a review of the new He-Man series, and he's kind of in a boat I respect, because he's like, it's a good show, it's just not He-Man, just don't call it He-Man, that's all, just make it its own show, yeah. So there's this new He-Man cartoon that's come out, and it's obviously much more kid-centric. All the protagonists most of the protagonists are aged downward in every way you could think, and but he's right. It's like you have characters who were like freaking father and daughter in the first series, and in this one they're just two different people. And he says, just make it its own show. It's a fine show. He as a guy dressed as He-Man. As a guy dressed as Skeletor, obsessed with He-Man, is telling you, listen, the new show is fine. In fact, I like it more than the freaking show with Tila, which I've heard really bad things about. I heard the last show just kind of like did a bait and switch on all the fans, because they were like, surprise, it's not about He-Man. But I respect him for being a guy who's like, it's fine, the show's actually really good, just don't call it He-Man and it'll be a perfectly fine show. I'm just trying to round out the teeth a bit more before I start sculpting on top of them. Okay, yeah, so let's give him the Ninja Turtle mouth. The grimace for like one side, the teardrop-esque kind of shape. Don't get stuck to me. Christ. Just stay down. There we go. Good thing about the pins, I can just reach right beneath it and grab the actual pin on the inside. So I don't have to worry about like, where am I going to hold it when I'm sculpting? let's give him a fat bottom lip. Really take up the space. These are like, maybe I should just paint all these yellow. No, don't do it, Dante. Yellow is such a bitch to paint with. You have to like, I was thinking yellow as in like, you know, make them more like twisted smiley faces, but nah. Wet my hands, come on. Sticking to me every second you get. Nope. Stuck to the table, you stuck to the table, you bitch. Das bitch. There we go. Here's the issue I said earlier, like it's wet, so it's slipping and sliding and doesn't want to stay like in position. Then when you squish it in to stay in position, you end up squishing the sculpture. Yeah, so like I said, I keep seeing those really soft looking rubbery tools. The closest I have is this wooden one because it's nice and curved and I can sand it down even more. All the other tools I have are like kind of rough on the edges because they're just metal tools. Let me do a curve. Like a wrinkle going down one side. Hold it upside down for the meantime. Okay. Put a little bit right there to fill in the space on that side. Then I could do a scar right down the face. bring this in a bit. Gotta smooth this out all around the eye over here. The good news is I could also sand all this down afterwards. Alright. Go do a thin line first. Make that gash wider. Wider towards the top. And do some real cuts in there. There we go. Maybe I should have kept the nose the way it was. You know what? Let's see. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, he's gonna have a little stubby nose. I need a pen. Something with a narrow tip. Where's my pen? Where my pen's at? Ah, you know what? When in doubt, toothpick. I'm basically these little slits. There you go. Just doing some fine detailing around the teeth. That fine detailing looks like garbage, so we're gonna try and undo it now. And got a little piece of stuck here and there. Let me give him a bit more of a crow's feet kind of look on this side. This big, swollen, bulbous looking eyelid. Alright, a little sanding here and there, but I think that's, let me see, I'll get it in the camera. There we go. There's our boy. Alright. So we're gonna leave him be. Come to the side. Somewhere. You should see my art table. Oh god. Right there. Boom. Okay, that's one down. So I don't want to start sculpting on the horns just yet. These horns aren't even glued on, they just kind of got pressed into it. But we could do like around the horns. How good are these? No, it's gonna come right off. Yep. Let's start. Start on the eyes. The eyes are gonna be sunken in. They're like, he's gonna have a big brow, almost non-existent eyes. Like it's gonna just literally just be like little wrinkles. Little wrinkles around the eyes. I'm thinking maybe a pig nose, like fit right between all of that. Let's give a really thin layer beneath the eye, so it's gonna be really squished together. Big bottom jaw, like a pit bull with an overbite or underbite actually. I'm just adding clay that's gonna be sculpted. But wrinkle, 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 wrinkle. The big bags where the eyes would be. There we go. wish this was more curved, but we'll use it for now. So these are just going to be really tiny eyes with lots of bags beneath them. Just like non-existent eyes, pretty much. Gonna do like a little heart kind of shape. Or an arrowhead to be more precise, I guess. That's going to be the nose. Yeah. What I need is a pen, like a ballpoint pen to poke just the right kind of hole in this. Hold on, guys. Just as good. I found myself a dull little pencil. Okay. So I'm preemptively shaping the brow. I'm doing the curves for the horns. I probably have to layer this up. And this is going to be like a big bulbous like forehead. So I have to probably layer it up anyway. Oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to layer it up. That's okay. At least for now, I have a general shape of what I'm working with. And even then, after when I do the horns, I don't want the horns to overlap the brow, so I might have to add an extra layer anyway. Oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely add more to this. This guy's gonna be a little heavy. Or let me dry this off. Ta-da! Oh yeah. Oh yes. Nope. No, I dropped it. Oh no! There it is. Okay. So, small chunk on the underside. Then squish it on. There we go. And mind you, this white piece, like I said, it's been here forever, so it's super hard, super tight. That's not going to change shape on us anytime soon. And now, I can start layering this on top. And just like really anchor it on the sides. That looks much nicer. Then I'll add a few, I'm still gonna add a few layers to this, but at least it's really filled out. You end up soaking this so much just to use it, but by soaking it, you end up also, you know, causing issues because it all begins to slip and slide on you. It's like a learning curve with this. It's not plastilina. It'll stick well. I love it because it sticks very well to figurines, and I can use it for customization. Yeah. The brow's gonna come down even more to overlap those eyes. Okay, so we're gonna let, yeah, it's like a bulldog look to it. Okay, we're gonna let the top settle. Let's do the bottom jaw. It's gonna definitely look like a bulldog once I put this bottom jaw. It's kind of like I think they're called Pinky. Pinky, yeah, it's pretty much Pinky from Doom. Right? My tool is sticking to me. Let's do some teeth. Whoa! Still good. The horn saved it. And that's okay. It's also okay if the teeth aren't even. Kind of you know what? This reminds me of also of Ludo from Labyrinth. Ludo was the big the big creature that could like summon rocks and stuff. He would cry, ooh, and like all these rocks would just start rolling up, quite literally rolling up. Adds a level of creepiness when like certain things don't match up, like, you know, our teeth and the teeth of most creatures is even. You know, you have two big teeth, two bottom big teeth. But I have like one singular tooth and then have it go outward. It's a little weird. I'm just adding some on the side for texture reasons. Probably won't even see it once the bottom jaw comes into play. Wrong piece. Hmm. Yeah, what if the jaw was like a little crooked as well? There we go. Yes. Same as the top. Just gonna flatten it in, flatten it, curve around the edges. Keep it out of camera, cause that's freaking on brand with me. Damn it, Dante. Probably gonna add an extra lip on top of that just to like hide the base of the teeth, like in the actual jaw. So you can see the shape. The shape is there. It's coming out. Gonna then build up the horns in some way. Not sure yet how. Off of me. Off damn spot. Out damn spot. There we go. Gotta wet my fingers because once again it's sticking to me every chance it gets. Okay, that looks good. Then, sorry, it's just the back of this pin is covered in gook, so it's like sticking to me when I hold it, no matter how I hold it. Okay, why not? Let's continue that fur pattern. I should use a different tool for this. Yeah, now when it comes to doing, you know, texture skin patterns, it's not my forte. I always struggle with it. Why are you being a jerk? Come on. There we go. You know what I gotta do? I gotta get rid of this guy in the corner. There we go. Gotta thin out that lip because it just looks so freaking weird otherwise. Then now I gotta figure out what the hell is happening with this forehead. See what I mean? It just like melts into the freaking whatever is sitting on top of it. Just loves to like seep into every nook and cranny. Is that even? That's about even. Hey G Marvel! Thanks, dude. I don't know if you saw the first one. I gotta send you the revised email. I gotta resend that email to you with the revised images to get your opinion. Because I need to decide if I want to print them or not and send them out quick. Staples has a good turnaround. They can get stuff done for you like in a week, especially on good cardstock. But yeah, I want to get your opinion on them. And then do a last minute Staples run. I always have trouble with like stock, cardstock. Like, because it's pounds and it's points or whatever you want to call it. But they do have a thick cardstock, so I was thinking I'll print out all 3 on individual papers, like maybe just do 10 of those, and I could physically cut them out myself. Rather than like pay the extra money for like bookmarks and lamination, I just want something a bit more of a heavier cardstock, that's all. Yeah. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, it's just more stuff I'm trying to get out for the Brooklyn Horror Con convention. Just more art stuff trying to get printed out. Yes, the idea is if I could get these 2 done, primarily done. They'll be dry by tomorrow. I could prime them. Spend some time. Like just want to get a few of these, a handful of these out to go hand in hand with the stuff I have so far. Bad news is I probably will never have time to actually. I won't have time to make copies. These are like originals and that's it. They go out. I won't have time to like to cover them in like mold builder or whatever. Cause that's gonna take another day off of when I can actually finish these. But hey, I don't mind making like single original pieces. There it is. Yeah, giving that layer beneath it definitely helps overlap. Very nice. Then give me a little scruff of hair on top. So I'm doing little tendrils first, and then I'll sculpt in the little lines for the actual hair. Part that hair down the middle. There we go. I don't know if you guys heard that. There was a really quick audio sample in the music right now. I think it was from wait, hold on. There we go. I think it was from the Zelda game. Listen! I just zoomed out more because I realized a lot of the time the work is getting cut out. Like, yeah, sure, you can't see it as up close, but you know, at least now you can see the work being done. Oh, there it was again. Listen. I don't know if this is the best technique, but yeah, do the big strands first, and then do all these little markings, the little brush strokes afterwards. Should put one, just a little piece right there, right, like in the very center, a little piece. There we go, right there. Yeah, it does look a lot better that way. A little messy, but the hair works. I got this small piece right here because I have a little blank spot on his cheek I want to fill in. Now, of course, we still got to do the horns. I actually want a lot of this to dry up first before I do that. Like, I want this whole thing to kind of dry and hold the horns in place. Now we have the Cyclops, which is one giant eye. I'm not too sure how I want to do the face for the Cyclops. There's the spider, of course. And no, we will not be, well, I'll most likely not be keeping the googly eyes. They're going to be spray painted over or whatever. Come in close for a minute. Yeah, kind of Rancor, Ludo, Pinky mix, like a mix of like different kind of characters. We'll let that dry, and most likely off camera during the week I will sculpt the horns out and then start spray painting these and coloring them. Okay, so we have, these are the options. start sculpting. You know what I'm gonna do? I have this little bit left. I'm gonna smooth it out all over the Cyclops eye, because you could definitely tell it's styrofoam otherwise. Might not even be enough just to cover it up. I'm thinking, well, I'll wait until I finish this, smoothing this out first, and I'll bring out the other guys and do some more thinking out loud. We got like 15 minutes left. I could probably start building up some of the Cyclops. Well, I was gonna say, I was thinking I'll do the squinty eye guy green, kind of scaly and green. I want to do the other one brown, but once again, that comes off too much like Ludo. I'll think about what colors to give him. I was thinking of just doing one of these like a basic skeleton. Like a basic skull kind of face. Let me get a good amount. This is going to be the last batch. Let me get a good amount of clay. You might go to like 10:30 or so. Okay. Nice big round bowl for that. Remember people, when using epoxy material of any type, let it be clay, let it be a molding material, don't take out a lot at once and don't mix it at once. Work in small portions. You never know, you might not be able to finish the project. Well, you know, your project's taking too long, so by the time you get to like the last of your clay, like I said, this stuff has a good work time. That's the good thing about this stuff. But still, you know, never ever take out more than you need. Small doses, work in small doses. See, that is not enough. Look at the size difference on that. Just need a pinch more. That's about right. Okay. Another thing about these, you know, unlike like when you're doing a mold or casting in resin or whatever, if you're off by like a pinch, they still, the epoxy still works. Doesn't have to be a perfect 50-50. Just get really close to that. I'm thinking maybe sunken cheeks on this, like really gaunt looking sunken cheeks. J Marvel, which it's not Jason, is it Jason the Argonauts? Maybe. Which famous movie had like the Cyclops with freaking goat legs? Yeah, like it wasn't Clash of the Titans. Clash of the Titans, he fights like a kraken creature from the Black Lagoon looking dude. Which one is it again? Which is the famous one where like the Cyclops has a horn and has goat legs? Like it's its own freaking thing. Okay, that's enough right there. Okay, let's take a small bit, and once again, like smooth out this eye. What is that? Little piece of plastic making this thing. There we go. Okay, that's that. Boom. Alright, let's start with the basics. Let's get those eyelids in there. There we go. So for sure, this guy's gonna have some mean-looking crow's feet. Give me a second. I'm doing it uneven. That's the center. There we go. The things about Cyclops, unless you count Taranga Leela, they usually don't have noses. Or the noses get smushed in some kind of weird way, like in the design. Just build up layers of wrinkles for the side. If I go downward, trying to add wrinkles to the eyes and bags to the eyes, it's gonna take up too much space. So we're gonna actually just build it upward into it. Like this. Put a little bit of meat on the corners of the eyes when we do the crow's feet. Actually looks nice. Figure right now, just build up some shapes for now. Okay, doing the indents for what's going to be the gaunt kind of cheekbones. I'm saying gaunt, but at this rate, he might have little chubby cheekbones, little chubby cheeks. There we go. Heck, those crow's feet look nasty. Gonna have to work on that. There we go. Gonna give him. You know he's gonna end up looking like the freaking the Cyclops from the movie Hercules, the Disney movie Hercules. Little chubby face. That's moving around too much. Where's my players? There it is. Once again, using a pencil just to give me some texture. So my original idea was to give him like a gaunt face, but it's kind of hard to do that with such a round, surface to work on. He's naturally a rounded figure now. There we go. Just trying to narrow out the lips a little bit. Then you go ahead and give him a little butt chin. Sorry, I got a bunch of stuff stuck in my fingers. Get off me, Christ! Had a seizure right there for a minute. Okay, let's see if I can do a little wrinkle right here. Not exactly what I was looking for. Let me see. See if we can do something on top. Got a small smidge left. It's 10:03. I'm just going to. Yeah, it's going to go ahead and add some clay up here to like fill up, to give me some texture. That's all I'm looking for. What are you? Get out of there. Little piece of paper stuck. I'm just taking the excess off the edges. So I can then repurpose it on top. There we go. You know what? Let me smooth out these freaking crow's feet. It is just not working the way I want them to look. Let's try again. The funny thing is, going back and forth like this, it's kind of forcing the lines I've done for the crow's feet to like smooth out and get in freaking order. Shoot. There we go. I got some ink on that by accident, but I was able to get the eye at least. Not too happy. It just looks like a mess, to be honest. I mean, the main center face looks okay. I just can't get like the really exaggerated wrinkles and stuff that I wanted. Yeah, maybe I'll let it dry. Maybe I'll let it dry, come back to it, and add some layers. But yeah, let's take a look real quick what we got. Yeah, I'm gonna have to let that dry. Okay, so camera, stop shaking. We have ourselves our kind of bulldog from hell. I'm gonna go ahead and, like I said, add a few layers to the horns, give them like texture, ribbing, I guess, ribbing. We have the Cyclops once again. I'm gonna probably let that dry, then like add maybe more wrinkles. Maybe just keep it fleshy, like actually add just wrinkle and keep him really fleshy looking. And then we have this guy with the scar. He's gonna probably be painted green, like a gremlin, ghouly kind of creature. You know what? Yeah, let's real quick, guys, real quick. I'm just gonna go ahead and just like start doing like tons of lines and like. And smooth it out, line and smooth it out. We are going to just make this guy all fleshy. Yeah. Okay, while it's wet right now, it's kind of hard to tell what the details are. So I'm just gonna have some fun with this. Yeah, he's just a big flat blob of like flesh, you know, gooey, fleshy patterns. Yeah, I think for this it will all come down to the coloring on this guy. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna just keep him like that. Look at that grimace he has. Like, just the unhappiness of those lips. Yeah. Okay. So we got 3 done today, guys. 3 done today. We still have our spider concept, our maybe snake concept with these little arches going in and out of the frame. And yeah, I just gotta figure out what price to label these at. Maybe I'll sell each one for like 10. Like original sculpted works. So sell it each one for 10, maybe even 15. Screw it, I'll sell these guys for 15. Especially once they are painted and ready to go. But I think we'll cut it there. It is right now. 10, 12. And I think we're going to stop it right now. So I'm going to once again plug, because I'm going to plug Brooklyn Horror Con. The second to last week of October, which I believe is the 23rd and 24th of October. At the Brooklyn Navy Yard. Same place they had... Brooklyn Comic Con, and same place they had New York Toy Con, which was also quite nice. Please check out the website. It's a very simple website. They also have a straightforward Facebook. It's just like, this is what's going on. Here's who's going to be here. Come and check us out. And maybe I think next week I'll probably continue this as well to get a few more of these out the way. Maybe I probably won't even wait. I might just start sculpting these in the meantime and do a brand new one as well. So yeah. I think those are all the announcements. So, once again, I am Dante. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. All that good stuff. And I'll see you. Ooh, excuse me. I'll see you in the future. Later.